Alright, is it safe to come back?
Yes, it should be, hopefully.
I was hearing a lot of four-letter words get thrown around, and oh boy, I'm gonna go take a walk after that one. Ooh. You know,
What do you
seed,
mean, like fart,
flag, roll.
lip? But nah, like we said, once stream gets back to normal, we should be back to business. So yeah, there goes 2% Chungus off to the races. Casual Times will be following up soon, so we may have to have a little bit of a sync up, but like you said, we should be going a little bit fast. Alright, Chungus is going fast, so that's a good sign, but it's Casual Tom about to go fast.
Alright, looks like it. Definitely moving faster than last time around, so looks like we've got both runners on the right seed with the right settings. And just like you mentioned before, we're going to start out with a pretty free E-Tank.
So yeah, once again, yeah, free E-Tank and Quickman, which is why Quickman is usually one of our starting points. And as you can see, someone in the chat kind of noticed had a hashtag for cosmetics. Fortunately, they do not change the seed, but they do give us a little bit of interesting looks. As you can see, 2% Chungus is rocking the Rock and Roll sprite. Rock and Roll being the Fangate one of the more notable ones. And it's actually firing some mats. Because one of the newest, at least cosmetic additions, is that we have customized Buster sprites. So he pretty much is gonna be shooting mets at our bosses here, which look like to be our Woodman here. Oh, there we go. Almost died, but was able to pop through the shield and get out of the Quickman stage.
So let's see if Casual Tom will be as fortunate. Going a little slower here. Casual Tom has a little bit of life. There we go. Out of there. So 2% Chungus on to Bubbleman's stage. I don't believe either got an item. So Casual Tom... Oh, let's see. Is he going to follow suit? No, he's going into Flashman.
Well, keep in mind that our runners are currently unsynced as far as the timing goes. They could be relatively even, but for right now, we're going to say 2% Chungus is going to be our focal point as he's about to finish out the rest of Bubbleman's stage, which is relatively tame. Wound up doing the ceiling zip, which is far easier with Burst Chaser since the speed allows it to move into position much faster. And it's about to face the boss there. Meanwhile, Casual Tom going to our second most visited stage early in a flash stage.
Let's see what we got. Crashman on Chungus' side, throwing the crash bombs around, so that's pretty free. So 302, let's call it. And an item, item 1, okay. So Casual Tom at 302, still in the boss fight. So it's comparing apples to oranges to some degree. Well, oh no. Yeah, that's not the thing that's supposed to explode at the end of the stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely not mistaken. Casual Tom facing Quickman, probably one of the worst rooms to have Quickman in Flash's room. Very non-soft weak to the Buster, not dealing 4 damage, so he's gonna go through the 14 hit damage race, and the first time, say, Quickman wins, but the second time, Casual Tom gets his revenge, and winds up getting out of Flash's stage.
There's our sync up. Casual Tom finds item 2 at least, so we have a little bit of item parity with both of them finding an item. So we know Bubbleman and Flashman have our items. Or at least item 1 and item 2. Item 3 is still out in the wild. Casual Tom gonna swap places with Chungus here as they're both in the respective stages that each other were in.
Yeah, right so now you can say Chungus definitely has the advantage for the time being, thanks to Casual Tom wound up getting offed by Quickman. But right now, we're gonna see 2% Chungus is able to wind up furthering the deal, but Quickman is not making it easy for Chungus.
No, he is not. It looks like, oh boy, Chungus lost his little quasi-advantage with, that's no good for Chungus. So, the quasi-advantage that he did have, oh, that went right out the window with that death. So, both runners at the end of these respective stages will have finished Quick, Flash, and Bubble. And Casual Tom is now in... Oh, no! I was just gonna say, Casual Tom taking the lead, but 2% Chungus. A second death now.
Yeah, probably check for weaknesses, but nothing was taking, so... Like, as Casual Tom before him, Chungus need to do the 14-hit damage race, and Quickman can claim a 2-0. Well, not... He can say he claimed both runners in this race, and Chungus is just...
Oh no! That's a third! There's gotta be an E-Tank hiding in that inventory somewhere.
Unless he didn't get the one in Flash, which probably is the case, otherwise he would have popped that in by now.
Hey, is it at that point, I'd just kind of try to ramrod it and just say, alright, well, I got the E-Tank, so once I get down to about half, you know, around this point, I'll just use the E-Tank. But he's... Oh, no. This is just disaster. Game over screen on top of it all. So, Chungus just hitting a disaster screen there. Flashman proving to be a little too much as it looks like he goes to Airman now.
Speaking of air, wound up taking out the Metal Man that was in Airman stage. Do we find Item 3? Item 3 still out in the wild right now. Opting to go to Woodman stage. We're not sure how Item 1 is acting. If Casual Tom is confident, he can attempt to go for good wood here, assuming Item 1 is good, but Item 1 can be... Well, not only Item 1 can be treacherous because of it being randomized in terms of how it acts as an item, but doing good wood with burst chasers is a little tricky. So we're gonna see what Casual Tom does in this stage.
Well, it looks like Chungus is having little trouble with Airman here, so hopefully he'll be able to start making up some time. But oh yeah, we just saw no E-Tank for Chungus, so that was what the problem was.
Then he just solved the problem, just find Time Stopper and just freeze your enemy to death. Wind up finding our sole weakness for the Time Stopper on Metal Man. That's some good information to find. The Time Stopper being one of our fractional energy drain variants rather than the full energy drain. So can be used multiple times. One of having good energy drain as well. So pretty good weakness for Metal as Casual Tom completely goes to the treehouse in the meantime and is about to find ourselves our Bubble Man analog here.
Oh wow, he found something there because that life bar just disappeared. Two-hitter quitter.
Yeah, that was definitely the crash bomb that was used on a Bubble there. Not sure if it was a super weakness, but it really doesn't matter when you kill that fast.
No, not at all. There was 3/4 of a life bar. I heard 2 sounds of a shot going off and then gone.
Casual trying to do Metal Zip, but the Item 1 not really favorable for zipping. Meanwhile, 2% Chungus taking on the Airman in Metal, using the fact that you can actually kind of manipulate the speed of the tornadoes by staying on the conveyors and making short work of air. It finds Item 3, so Item 3 is locking in here, so Casual Tom will find his third and last item it will be completely stocked on items, while Chungus still needs to go back to Flash and get that item 2 from a very devious Quickman.
Well, as long as he remembers to hold on to it, he does have an E-Tank right now. And it looks like he's going to use the Time Stopper to... Well, got rid of one of the hot dogs, but not both of them.
And that is air down, Battleman stage complete, and there goes the item 3 that has been aforementioned. 2% Chungus is about to go at the top of the treehouse. We kind of lost track of what is at that treehouse, focusing on Casual Tom for a bit. But while Casual Tom goes to Heat Man, we find that this bit of the treehouse is a little annoying. A lot of things being immune to the Buster, but the top speed pretty much just blazes through, and it should be heading towards the Bubble Man fight soon enough.
Alright, so let's take a little recap here. We got Casual Tom, Heat Man stage. Ay, ay, ay. Ah, I'm losing my mind already.
Well, it doesn't matter. He winds up successfully doing the item 3 zip that setup, and winds up, of course, naturally having item 2 in hand, ignoring all the Yoku blocks riding on the item 2. Of course, gets off when they're safe footing because the burst chaser speed is far faster than the item 2 speed.
Well, 2% Chungus turned Bubble Man into a two-hitter quitter as well, so he knows that the Crash Bomb's gonna do some work in the Wily fights when we get there.
Got a Heat in Heat, and Heat is dead. So there's only one more stage for Casual Time to go to before he becomes our first to go into our end-game stages. Meanwhile, unfortunately, 2% Chungus is still going to Heat before return to Flash. Not knowing that item 2 is still locked in Flash, he's gonna have to deal with the item 2. I mean, not the item 2. Well, the item 2 less Yoku blocks. So he's gonna have to force to take care of them. But we're gonna see how he takes care of the Yoku blocks. Trying to be careful. You don't want to go too fast and have these blocks go off sync. But with Burst Chaser, we're gonna see if he's gonna go for a very, very big jump as Casual Tom. See, yep, he does get the Death Warp and gets to the middle of the stage. And yep, there's Chungus with the big jump. The Burst Chaser speed and the pause buffering allowing you to skip the remaining Yoku blocks and pretty much just en route to face Heat Man in Heat Man's room.
That's good stuff from Chungus there. We got Casual Tom making his way up to Crash Climb. Chungus, let's see what he's got. Let's see if he finds anything. Oh, no. That's not what you want to find, my friend.
Casual Tom opted to go the far way to stock up on some safety items. Not a bad idea, but it still takes a little bit of time as those items are out of the way. But fortunately, he doesn't know, but he's definitely quite a bit ahead. A good Robot Master stage ahead.
Well, Flash and Crash still for Chungus. Casual Tom, oh boy. Do we get the best eyebrows in gaming?
No, we got disappointment. Dr. Cossack shaking his head, showing the disappointment that Wally can't even appear in his own game. But regardless, it's Casual Tom who is the first in our in-game stages. And of course, that you know what it is, for those that are familiar with how we go with our tournament games. We do have a dragon that we love to at least make some kind of predictions on. So yeah, we got colors, we got weaknesses, and we got our dragon design that we like to guess. And for those that aren't familiar with designs, we have the normal dragon, we got a dragon corn, a little cute little horn on the head, our oats dragon, our swag dragon, our 80s Sage Dragon, our anime Sage Dragon, and a mystery dragon that has yet to be seen, that I know 100% is in this randomizer but has not been seen yet, even within the qualifiers. Frico, as it's been a while, you start.
You know what? I want to see that mystery dragon. So that's what I'm going for, but it's always the bubble lead until it's not, and I'm going to go with a yellow mystery dragon with the bubble lead at the end of Wily 1.
It's going to be too late for me, so I'm going to have to abstain, but I do want that mystery dragon to finally show up. And it's not going to show. It doesn't want to show for me. I'm sad. Buffy gets purple, Crash Bomb, and our Dragoncorn. Hooray for you! You get a virtual handshake.
Yeah, the Burst Chaser went a little faster than I thought it would. Wow.
Chungus opting to go the long way around. Casual Tom, being a little more adept in using item 1 for zipping, was able to do the zip death warp. So Chungus is going to lose a bit of time, but fortunately the Burst Chaser combined with item 1 is still not going to make this area all that long.
Now, the unfortunate overall time loss was on that disaster of a Flashman stage, just not having any real way to deal with that Flashman and having to die 4 times to game over and finally opt out of that screen. Casual Tom having a bit of an issue there with the item 3 climb. But Chungus, as you can tell, a little behind, so right now this is Casual Tom's game to win. Commentator curses not applied.
Well, we're about to find out how our Pico is gonna be. And it's one is Blob Pico, and because of that, we get, for those that haven't been following up with some of the updates, the Pico units actually do have randomized spawn points now. So our runners gotta be a little bit kept aware of where our Pico is gonna be appearing as the fight progresses.
Okay, a full complement of Safety Sludge. Looked like, what was that, the Metal Blade that he was using originally? It didn't look like had enough energy for it. But this Quick Boomerang?
Yeah,
might be able to get him the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think I saw Air Shooter being a workable weakness as well. I did not see the attempt with Metal Blade. I wouldn't be surprised considering the versatility of the Metal Blade. But yeah, it looks like Quick Boomerang was the ultimate go-to, and Casual Tom winds up moving on to item 3, having dispensed of the Pico Kun units. And with a bit of Double Dragon in our lives, Casual Tom is going to go straight into Wily 3, where the waters are surprisingly clean for a change.
Wow, the water purifier is actually turned on, so Dr. Cossack at least remembering to pay the electricity bill for the water purifiers, so good job on him.
Casual Tom wisely using the pulse buffering strat to make sure he gets through the spike dive, as going to do there with Burst Chaser mode is actually extremely dangerous due to the high speeds. So knowing that kind of safety backup is a pretty good thing, as Casual Tom sees our Technodrome in lieu of the Guts tank. And look like it's Bubbles. Yep, Bubbly doing the job, taking care of our Technodrome, and onto Wily 4 we go.
Say, wait a second, Snake Search wasn't in Mega Man 2. Hold on here. Looks like the Bubble's getting there with 2% Chungus.
So for anyone with bubble guessers like you, I suppose, congratulations, you get another virtual handshake.
I'm gonna have to wait until the end of this run to redeem that one. Oh boy.
Casual Tom starting on Wally stage 4, using those big jumps to make sure he doesn't get trolled by those fake platforms, which are randomized, at least in the first several screens. And going to our Zada rooms, where there looks like quite a bit of shotman action appearing in these rooms. We're going to see how Casual Tom takes care of those, but I'm pretty sure as adept as Casual Tom is with the randomizer, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Went for it. Item 1 not quite sticking around long enough. So having to take the quote-unquote normal way around. It looks like he's just gonna smack right into one of those shotmen and make his way through. And the momentum from the Burst Chaser able to trivialize that 4th room, pretty much.
Alright, so we got our Boo Beam room. The walls and the turrets have separate weaknesses, but of course we're going to check our best weaknesses first for the turrets to see if we can not have to worry about using the walls. Well, Metal Blaze seem to be taking care of the walls, so that takes care of one thing, but now we got to dig for our final weakness here for the Boo Beams. So we're about to start our weakness dive. Meanwhile, 2% Chungus going through the Pico units. Unfortunately, as you said before, the Metal Blaze doing the job, but not really ammo friendly.
Casual Tom trying to get this jump spaced right, and he does not want to let go of that shot. Charged heat for the Boo Beam turrets. Ay, ay, ay. God, has it been this long since I've played this game? I can't even remember the boss things. Ay, ay.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore, at least until 2% Chungus decides to get there. Casual Tom starting the boss rush. Get some Mystic Quest boss music for our refight theme, and pretty much gonna go clockwise. Oh, never mind. DJ Metal Man decided to change the beat.
Oh, Chungus a little more confident in his abilities with the dive here, avoiding the spikes, so I think he's a little bit further than a couple seconds that were saved on the pauses there, but you know, all the same, every little bit adds up. If Casual Tom does make a mistake, Chungus will be there to hopefully capitalize on it, but it looks like Casual Tom is, I believe, at least 3 E-tanks in hand and pretty much cruising through these boss fights.
Yeah, 2 Robot Masters remaining. Gonna try to get that revenge on Quickman for that little flash faux pas a while earlier. Still do a little bit of damage trading, but as you say, even if it was come to a worst case scenario, he still had a couple of juice boxes left to back him up as we go to our final boss in Bubble and onto our Water Machine fight.
Looked like we found something there. No. Oh man, with all this flickering, I can barely tell what, oh wait, that's not supposed to be the thing that explodes at the end of the stage. Ugh.
Yeah, Casual Tom pretty much going through the entire gauntlet to find a weakness for this first phase. Finds that Charge Heat is one of the weaknesses. I think it could be Leaf Shield, but the Leaf Shield went the other way, so it really wasn't clear.
Yeah, it looked like he went through everything, and it, with the flickering, I wasn't sure if something hit, and he just didn't like how much damage it did and moved on trying to find something else. But that second phase went down quick as lightning, so Casual Tom looks like he's pulling into Victory Road, as I so like to call it.
Yep, just one straight away to our final alien and one weakness away from winning match 1 of our best of 3 here. Meanwhile, 2% Chungus trying to catch up as fast as possible, but gonna end up seeing that the writing is on the wall for a little bit. The alien should not be much of an issue for Casual Tom unless there's some kind of major disaster as Wally decides to take things into his own hands, being our alien for the day.
No wonder he wasn't available to write his little thing and had to have Dr. Cossack. Now we know why Dr. Cossack was so disappointed, but it looks like the bubble lead will finish him off, and Casual Tom, unofficially, with 25:05 on his screen, will get the official time in a minute. Well, not a minute, probably a couple seconds once I let LB Creed talk again. But Chungus into the boss refights. We'll see if he continues on to the end of the seed. But Casual Tom gonna win game 1.
And that official time is 25 minutes and 7 seconds. So well done to Casual Tom for winning race 1. Chungus, we'll see if he continues to play this seed out, but he should be done in relatively short order. Once again, Burst Chaser pretty much making, even though the seed could be a little bit long, and Burst Chaser makes everything move very, very fast. So 2% Chungus should be done in relative short order in a moment, but he still got at least half a worth of Robot Masters to go through in the boss rush before we can move on to our next thing. Get our audio back to Chungus for a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Get that E-Tank. As we return to our Final Fantasy Mystic Quest music in progress.
I believe DJ Metalman is on the next Robot Master, so we'll see if he pulls a little remix action and changes tracks on us. Oh, no, one more until we get him.
Have a little bit of a hard time lining up those shots, but our Buster Stop Wing crash still goes down in relative short order. And here comes our DJ as we speak. Are we going to get another music change? There we go. Chungus decided to remember his weakness chain. Time Stopper being our only weakness for Metal Man. Just to remind, Time Stopper is weak to one boss and one boss alone, and it's always Robot Master. Metal Man being it in that case. And holy crap, Metal Blade's just literally shredding through that heat, man, being one of our super weaknesses. That 2 shots.
Wow, this first form Wily machine is just having absolutely none of it.
Oh, the other weakness is air shooter, and it's insanely vertical. You gotta get up close and personal to get those hits in.
Oh, I feel your pain on that one. Yikes. That is just rough. But it looks like that's what's gonna be the implement of destruction here for 2% Chungus. No, he's gonna go the charged heat route. Looks like 6-7 shots and we're out of that first phase. Oh, and it gets there for phase 2. Let's see if he's got enough weapon energy for it.
Unfortunately, because it's a charged heat, you're actually charging up your heat and it's not supercharged. Yeah, he's gonna have to take that energy sludge and try to at least survive. But yeah, we might not have enough energy to finish this phase off. Oh, just barely.
Oh,
never mind.
Right on the last shot. Calculated. Down to the last shot.
It made a liar out of me. as 2% Chungus finally gets to victory road, opted to go the opposite end to fill up on that. I'm gonna say that's heat.
Yeah, charged heat. He won't need it, I don't believe. It was bubble lead, if I remember Casual Tom's screen correctly. We'll see what we get here.
See how long it takes Chungus to find those snake-looking bubbles.
No, not that one. Let's see. No, not that one. There you go. Found it.
Well,
No,
he did
that
find
one.
it, but he overcommitted. Wound up, we feeling that little bit of health that he already lost. Traditional situations still apply. If you use a weapon different from the weakness, the alien does heal. But regardless of the matter, GG's to 2% Chungus. Chungus finishing with an official time of 30 minutes and 24 seconds. That concludes race 1. So Casual Tom with the early 1-0 advantage to 2% Chungus. We would get the second race and the presets for that race in a little bit. So hang on, folks. Race 2 in a moment. And we are back. Welcome everyone on Speedgaming 2. This is your boy LV Cree here, joined by Freako alongside me in comms, and this is our Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament for this SGL Online Season 4 2025. Today we have Casual Tom and 2% Chungus on our screens today. Casual Tom winning our first race. But now we're going to see how things differ, as now our preset has been changed. We're going to be doing our Tournament B set, which is a zipless race this time around with revealed stages. So with this little bit of differentiation, we're going to see if this would give 2% Chungus a little bit of a heads up and even the score between him and Casual Tom. So Freako, what you going to be making of how things are working right now?
Wait a second here. We're not playing River City Ransom? I just saw the intro for River City Ransom. I mean, come on. I'm ready for a beatdown here. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, but you're going to be
bring
doing...
Bring on Slick and his boys. Come on. Get some.
We're doing a different set of beatdown, but instead of high school teenagers, we're going to be doing a little prepubescent little blue robot or robot girl on our other screen and beat up on some other robots as we're good to go. Our runners are deep into it. Casual Tom finding Quickman a little faster while 2% Chungus is trying to make up his mind, trying to figure out where to go.
It's those little things that might get you a bit of an advantage in the game. So, Casual Tom... Uh-oh. Are we not playing Burst Chaser this time around?
Nope, no Burst Chaser this time around. It's good old-fashioned... Just a good old-fashioned jog to the finish line this time around. But once again, this time we are zipless, so no zips are allowed. If any zips are done, all penalties from time loss to potential disqualification will be accrued and assessed as need fit. But of course, because we are on zipless format, we do have a little bit of programming additions to make sure to minimize the number of zips. Because normally when you try to zip, you normally zip to the right. In these presets, it has been programmed that any kind of long zip that zips to the right will be immediately ejected to the left. So a lot of our longer zips have been pretty much negated. Speaking of negation.
Yeah, that, Casual Tom getting, caught by one of the beams. A little unfortunate. Not quite able to move quick enough. But, mistake like that, it'll cost a little bit of time, but, at the end of the day, this early on, you never know. We saw 2% Chungus struggle mightily on one of these stages in the first game. Might be time for Mega Man 2 to turn the other cheek, as Chungus just absolutely dumpsters Woodman there. Might be Casual Tom's turn to hit a little bit of bad luck.
We'll see. As we know, in most randomizers, and this is no exception, it can be a very, very cruel mistress. But for right now, Chungus taking care of quick stage, getting item 3 for his reward, and is about to go to flash stage. Meanwhile, Casual Tom is about to take on our Banana Wood man. Should be a quick fight. Very soft weak to the Buster. It should be out of the stage in short order and get item 3 to boot.
Alright, so Chungus with a little bit of a lead coming out of the first stage. And it looks like we'll see both of them going into Flashman this time. So Chungus not opting to detour into Bubble Man. I guess the Burst Chaser and Zips changing the math a little bit.
And as you can see on Casual Tom's screen, Chungus did so a little bit earlier. One of our other additions is that we buffed up the pausing abilities in the randomizer. Oh, Casual Tom finding Buster being the wall weakness. We see if Chungus found the same, as I didn't quite see if Chungus made that discovery as well. We're about to find out in a moment, but as I was saying, our pausing abilities has been a little bit buffed.
Chungus knows.
So we can actually pause out of damage, so we can reduce knockback and pause out of our weapons and items as we see fit. So our pausing abilities have been very much increased as the randomizer has been improved. Meanwhile, Crashman sided, Crashman down, Flashman a little bit more favorable to Chungus compared to the first seed.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Tom making a nice little move there with the pause buffer that you just previously mentioned. Now that they both know the crash wall weakness, they're just gonna bust right through, pun intended.
Meanwhile, Chungus is going to Bubble Man stage. Reminder that all zips are forbidden, so he can't do the long zip here. So it's gonna make the long bubble route down at the bottom of the sea. But because they're gonna go that route, there can be some very annoying enemies that can be set in there. So we're gonna see how Chungus is able to navigate the area. Meanwhile, Casual Tom, knowing that zips are off the table, opted to go to Woodman instead. But of course, even though you don't have to worry about doing good wood, if it was me, I would probably still try to hold off Woodman at least until you get item 2, so you can fly through part of the second half or towards the end of the stage. But once again, it's the randomizer. We don't know if this can be beneficial or not. We still have 2 items MIA.
Very true. Woodman's not particularly on my personal list of stages I like to do in the front 4. Definitely, I want to save that for the back 4 if I can help it with Airman, Heatman, and Crashman. There's just too many things that can go wrong, and oh, there we saw it. Almost a little mini zip, but it just kicked him right out instead of zipping him forward through the wall.
Yeah, probably a little bit of but dang, I know what I was trying to say, but it left my memory. I was too busy trying to keep track with Chungus' Flashman fight, which he takes care of relative short order. And we're gonna see our items next in here, and unfortunately not. Muscle memory was what I was trying to say in terms of Casual Tom trying to do that little cheeky mini zip. But regardless, zips are not happening in this one, and since it's extremely minor, there will be no time penalties accrued. So Casual Tom fortunately is safe, but it was such a long road taking care of the dogs, not having the weakness to take care of that, and then taking care of the long walk on top of the treehouse. Casual Tom kind of adding to the deficit a little bit.
Well, like I went back to my point before, there's so many things in the Woodman stage. It's probably the most complex stage, arguably with Crashman, in my opinion, I'll say. I just do not like this stage for whatever reason it is, but Casual Tom gets to the end, finds Heatman, and gets him out of there with what looked like the Leaf Shield.
And the early go to Woodman wound up being beneficial, finding item 1 as a little bonus. Finally going to Bubble Man next. Meanwhile, Chungus getting a little bit rocked by our man chickens here, en route to the Metal Man boss room, having to take the E-Tank to try to survive this beatdown.
I need to say, he's getting a little overwhelmed by Endless Wings Night in Metal Man stage there. Yikes.
See, who needs River City Ransom when you got River City Man chickens? That aside, we have a Bubble Man sighting in the metal room, trying to find a weakness, but not finding much. Looks like Crash Bomb's the soft weakness, but unfortunately not too much in the tank. Wanna go to the Buster, trying to beat the damage race.
Yeah, Bubbleman didn't look like he was doing too much damage, and he definitely doesn't do airman levels of damage when you get bodied by him, so able to get through that. We're into Heatman stage for 2% Chungus.
Kind of an interesting decision, especially not having item 2 being MIA. Probably would have checked some of these other stages before going to Heat, maybe. But we'll see what happens. Item 2 seems to be the only thing that's MIA right now, and honestly, the only stages that are available aside from Heat would be Air himself and Crash. Kind of surprised he didn't go for Air first in this regard, but I'm not the runners, and in the end, the runners could be making better routing decisions in this season.
Well, you never know. It is a randomizer. It's not like you know exactly where the items are, like in the vanilla game. So, you know, maybe going to Airman would have been the right call. Maybe going to Heatman would have been the right call. I would have been completely thrown off by Woodman being where item 1 was. That's for sure. That would have thrown me off, big time.
Chungus making use of the Buster Walls to safely traverse the rest of Heatman stage. Gonna get himself a little bit extra life, the walls being generous. But once again, not having item 2 in hand, you're gonna be forced to do the Yoku blocks. The only thing that will even up this stage is if our Wanderer item 2 is locked in this stage. So Casual Tom will have to be forced to make the Yoku movement as well.
I think if it's behind Crashman, that might be the only other stage where it's potentially beneficial. Because I can't fathom Casual Tom going into Crashman before Heatman. But hey, the runners have definitely gone off the script, so to say, so who am I to say what they will and won't do?
With Metal Man sided and it being particularly weak to the Buster, I would like to actually offer a little bit of opposition, because with items 1 and 3 in Casual Tom's possession, I would actually wouldn't mind taking the early Crashman trip, because with those 2 items, you can actually make Crashman stays very, very easy with the vertical based movement that item 1 and item 2 possesses.
Fair. That is a fair argument. I will definitely give you that. You know, looking at the tools that are in the box, you kind of go, okay, I've got item 1, I've got item 3. There's no zips to worry about. So yeah, Crashman's definitely on the board, as it were. But it looks like we're going to get our answer one way or another, as it's either Airman or Crashman at this point. We know it is not Heatman. So it's either Airman when Chungus and Casual Tom get to the end of this stage, or it's Crashman.
Meanwhile, these baton throwing the babies, trying to make a little bit of an issue in these aerial quarters, trying to slow down our runners. Chuba said Chungus finally getting to the second half of the stage, Casual Tom following suit. But for right now, we could say Casual Tom might still be at a slight, but we're not sure. Both our runners are pretty even in terms of robot matches right now, so it's very hard to judge who's gonna have the advantage right now. You can say Casual Tom has the advantage in terms of idols, but he still has yet to go to Crash.
Well, neither of them have gone into Crashman. The difference is Heatman and Woodman. Casual Tom having taken care of Woodman, Chungus taken care of Heatman. So, both of them have taken a bite of the proverbial sandwich. They've just picked different spots. So, this will be each respective runner's 6th Robot Master. However, these stages are not... Oh, and it is not Airman, so that kind of narrows it down. Item 2 is behind Crashman's stage.
So Chungus is gonna be going to Woodman stage, finally getting that item 1 once done with it. But right now, you're gonna have to go through the Joe Woods in order to get, for starters, to help get to that point.
And Casual Tom able to deduce that Crashman was the next stage to go to. He doesn't have item 2, and if it would have been behind Heatman, then so be it. But he's giving himself a chance. And it's going to pay off for him at the end of Crashman stage. He will find his item 2.
Meanwhile, our lab favors are giving 2% Chungus fits. Tried to use the time stopper to get by at least one dog, but unfortunately, the time stopper being our partial drain variant, not giving enough time to Chungus to try to skip one dog once they're going to the crash bombs to one-shot our doggos and put them down.
Well, Casual Tom's into our crash climb, and he's putting that item 1 to good use, which unfortunately Chungus is yet to find, but he'll find that once he gets to the end of this stage. So it's going to be a quasi-race between our runners with Heatman for Casual Tom, but he will have the benefit of item 2. And Crashman for 2% Chungus.
But at least by the time Chungus gets to Crash, he will have all the vertical movement items to make Crashman stage as fast as possible. So it's going to be an interesting race to see who gets to our end game stages first.
Yeah, it feels like, at least so far, the real difference is that Casual Tom, in theory, will have item 2 in the Heatman stage, where Chungus did not have that advantage, so that, at least right now, is the major difference that I can think of between both of our runners as they're about to finish their 7th respective stage and heading into their last stage before Wily's Castle.
Meanwhile, I think that was Heatman I saw get completely two-shotted by what? Crash bombs in the Woodman boss room? One of the super weaknesses have been found. So Chungus has that in his pocket whenever he needs be, especially in the refights. But once again, it's a tale of 2 sets of items. Casual Tom with the full kit going to Heatman stage, but 2% Chungus just having enough items to make everything in Crashman pretty brisk. So it's going to be a little bit of a test to see who gets out of there and get to our final stages first. But also got to keep in mind, since item 2 is here in Crashman stage, 2% Chungus is going to have that little bit of time loss getting the notice for said item 2 before going to the final stages, while Casual Tom doesn't have to worry about it.
Well, is it fair to kind of guesstimate that Casual Tom has roughly 10 seconds of an advantage right now, given both runners able to execute the rest of the way?
It's debatable. It's like you said, we really don't know until we get to the actual end portion of the stage. Because right now, Casual Tom is
forgetting that the Buster Week walls exist,
or using any of the other items to try to get over the walls here. So a little bit of a slowdown. Meanwhile, Chungus trying to utilize item 3 to his maximum benefit and climbing up the rest of the way. Oh, Casual Tom, can he recover? There we go. Casual Tom with a little bit of an error, firing the item 2 a little bit too low. Excellent recovery, but that was a little bit frightening.
Yeah, I was gripping onto my seat going, oh no. Oh no. But Casual Tom, I don't know. Maybe that was intended. He wanted to make sure he picked up the extra guy. But Chungus gonna just take the L on that one. He had almost no energy to work with. Casual Tom just absolutely destroying his boss. So let's call it 1852, as we see the best eyebrows in gaming. That is, in fact, Dr. Wily in the flesh. He is the bad guy. He's staking his claim.
And going immediately to the void that is supposedly his castle for whatever reasons. But regardless of the matter...
The best in camouflage technology. He finally figured it out.
You say that, but Mega Man still was able to find that sucker fast.
Hey, he wasn't able to camouflage his escape pod very well, but you know.
Mercy. We got a dragon that needs guessing. Once again, we got a color and a weakness and a design. Get the trifecta of guessing going in chat here. You know the deals, so
go for it, because I took too long last time. So get in there, get your guess in.
All right, I like to do this every so often. I want a true blue dragon, Buster Week, and I'm gonna do a little bit of reverse psychology. I'm gonna go with our 80 Shades dragon to appear in this seed.
Well, I want to see it, so I'm going to try to summon it out for everybody. I still want the Mystery Dragon. Give me that Mystery Dragon. But we got the Bubble Lead, so it's going to be the Air Shooter this time. And I think it's going to be purple. Purple Air Shooter Mystery Dragon.
Oh, so you already got your bubble fixed, you're going to just stick to air now.
Yep, it's bubble until it isn't. And we already got bubble, so that means it isn't.
Alright, Casual Tom's first to face the dragon, and... oh, there's our anime Shades dragon. Our little vicious looking dragon, and is very much green with some extra color tinting, but the primary color is green, and that is definitely a Metal Blade weakness.
Wow, that's out of there. So Casual Tom getting out of there, let's say... Alright, 21:26 for Casual Tom. Of course, we're using the unofficial timers, but tick-tock goes the clock, so 10, 15, 20, 21 seconds difference right now between Casual Tom and 2% Chungus.
Yeah, right now, the differential between our runners is actually pretty slim. Any unfortunate death could, or, well, death would definitely flip the scales in the other racer's favor. Well, Casual Tom decided to make a stop, was concerned about the E-Tank deficit, so winds up going for that E-Tank. We're going to see if Chungus go for the same E-Tank. He got 3 in the tank, he might forego it, but let's see what happens.
Well, I'm surprised Casual Tom remembered that it was the Buster. It looked like he completely forgot in that Heatman stage, but then he was able to remember, wait, Buster, walls, yeah, got it.
Well, what we shouldn't forget is that we got a Pico unit to take on. We're gonna see what kind of design it is. Whatever design it is, gonna determine what kind of pattern we're gonna get. And it is a Twitch chat Pico, so we're gonna have some randomized positions for our toasters here.
Oh, we have the wood.
Yeah, but it's a 2-shotter. We don't take kindly to 2-shot woods in this negative woods. Opted to go to Metal Blade. Metal Blade seem to be doing the work, but we're not quite 100% on that weapon consumption.
Wow, Twitch chat is angry tonight. Oh boy. Oh, well, inverted up and down.
2% Chungus seem to have a better grip on the energy consumption. So Metal Blaze, I think Metal Blaze, if Casual Tom managed the weapons better, would have been the way to go.
Well, this might be where 2% Chungus... Oh, wow, that's a massive cut into that lead. It was 21 seconds, and it now 3, 4. So that was a good 15-plus seconds that were made up throughout that stage, and a good portion of it was right in that boss fight.
Yep, it's still Mega Man. It's still in-game Mega Man. Ammo management is insanely important for these stages, and for the fact that weaknesses are randomized. You're gonna make sure that all your weapons are good to go whenever need be. Casual Tom not having enough metal to go fully for the Pico units and swapping off to a 2-shot wood kind of set him back a little bit. Still with a lead, but that lead has been drastically cut.
Yeah, between stopping to pick up the E-Tank and then probably about another 10 seconds in the boss fight, we're in a virtual dead heat almost. I mean, it's 3 seconds going into our Bowser blocks here.
Buster not weak. He doing the big dig, trying to find the quick weaknesses. And Metal once again saving the day for Chungus. Chungus again using the massive Metal Blaze, and winds up taking the lead currently from Casual Tom, who finds Metal but finds it just a few seconds late. So once again, it's all the little differences that is getting Chungus and just keeping pace and eventually taking the lead.
Chungus just lost a little bit of time there. It looked like he went for an E-Tank, or not an E-Tank, excuse me, a weapon energy refill, and put it on the wrong item, so he just wasted it, and the time to go get it. So, our runners are Casual Tom is essentially, you know, just a couple steps, but in the lead to a little degree, as Chungus... Oh,
it's all these little execution differences that's just putting these runners back and forth right now. And both of them wisely using the backgrounds of the floors to safely navigate our fake floor to make sure they're safe from the spikes. And what, as you said, absolute dead heat, maybe a second, maybe less than a second away from each other right now.
I mean, they're right on top of each other. This is just pure execution at this point between Casual Tom and Chungus, and Chungus menued, so now Casual Tom's back in front. We'll see if he's able to stay on. Stayed on enough and able to drop down. Chungus struggling a little bit. Looks like he's going to take an L here, but
oh, boy. He tried to take damage. Nah, he was trying to damage boost on the Team Rocket Chanky makers, but just could not have the lag frames messing up the timing, and unfortunately, yes, very unfortunate for Chungus. That could very well be the race, but we still have refights remaining, but Casual Tom already on the booming turrets.
Well, we already know the wall weakness, so we know there's a better chance that our god weaknesses, so to say, are there, but it doesn't look like it, as we're shooting down the walls. Charge heat again? No. 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 Second page? Yup, found it. Crash bomb.
There we go. Wait, is he gonna find... Just barely managed to get enough. Chungus trying to go for the big jump. Just misses this bizarre sprite here,
Oh, no.
with a damage boost, just cut the jump short.
Is trying the flying elbow off the top rope and nobody home. Oh, just disaster for 2% Chungus here, right at the end of the run. This is so close, and then, like I said, just execution at this point, and Casual Tom able to execute just that little bit better than 2% Chungus. And that's
great equalizer, equalizing things, but unfortunately not equalizing enough for 2% Chungus. Trying to recover, but while he's trying to recover, Casual Tom well into the refights, 2 robot masters in, going for the third.
Does 2% Chungus not have any item 3?
Well, item 3 would not be all that beneficial here.
Or no, excuse me, item 2.
Well, he will probably need to take out that Janky Maker in order to get there, but he might have been out, otherwise he probably would have used it already. At this point, we're talking about a lot of what-ifs.
Well, when you get to the end of the seed and you go, okay, there's this big turning point that happens, that's kind of all you're left with, aren't you? It's just the what if this, what if that, and unfortunately, yeah, seeing that item screen, we see not much in the way of energy for those items, and that is probably the difference for 2% Chungus here, unfortunately.
Casual Tom on the second to last Robot Master. 2% Chungus finding crash bombs finally. About to finish out the turrets. Plenty of bombs, just gotta make sure that they're aimed properly.
So yeah, Casual Tom making his way through the robot refights with fairly little difficulty onto the Wily Machine. I don't know if we're gonna get such a stressful Wily Machine. At least it's not made of paper mache. Nope, not the quick boomerang. Oh, we found something.
That's air shooter for the first phase at the very least. Gotta see if it's gonna be it for the second phase. Not often to double check that air shooter to see if it's the God of Weakness, but looks like it's crash bombs, and with the good explosion duration, it pretty much just destroyed the second phase. And as you would like to say, Casual Tom's on the way to Victory Road, where we got 1 alien and 1 weakness remaining. Pretty much Casual Tom's on the way to winning this match 2-1 on 2% Chungus.
Well, there's definitely a world in which we could have a 1-1 race here. It's not over yet, so to say. I don't know Casual Tom's item energy consumption. If he's got a low item, he may have to take a death, and we all know how that works out. Not very favorably.
And once again, Dr. Wily himself getting down to nitty-gritty. Gonna be our alien this time around. Casual Tom doing the weakness dive. And once again, finding our bubbles to be the vanilla weakness. Casual Tom officially winning this one out with official racetime.gg time of 32 minutes 26 seconds. Casual Tom moving on in the brackets 2-0 against 2% Chungus.
Well, Chungus, I was definitely rooting for you in this second stage, but hey, it happens.
Yeah, Chungus put up in an extremely good race up until Wily Stage 4. It was just unfortunate that the execution just kind of went away from right at the worst possible moment. Otherwise, we definitely could be seeing a situation where it was potentially, what, 1-1, and we wouldn't see the race 3.
Well, it looks like I heard the intruder alarm. I believe we have an intruder in chat right now. Our winner of tonight's race, Casual Tom. Uh-oh, is he not here? Did we catch him too early?
Oh. How about now?
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, we got you.
Alright, awesome.
Okay. Cool, I fixed it faster than I did last time, but yeah, that Quickman stage in the second seed, like, nothing was weak to Buster. So, and I died in a very stupid way. I was just too used to Burst Chaser. I was just being careless about how close I needed to be to hug the wall. So I was like, well, this is off to a bad start, but luckily I learned enough boss weaknesses along the way to sort of pick up some time.
Yeah, you kind of needed to. Up until Wally Stage 4, Chuba said Chungus was really on you. It was just an unfortunate set of errors that Chuba said Chungus had that kind of sealed his fate and basically gave you the win.
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like I got a little lucky in Wily 4, in that, you know, that one screen. Everyone knows the screen. But it almost got hit by some chain keys, but yeah, just you know, a bit of luck, call it what you will, but yeah, that was intense.
All skill, come on. All skill.
Oh, you're too kind.
But the finishing touches that make this official. Chungus finishing off the race with an official time of 34-34. GG to Chungus. Very well raced in the second half. Unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be casual time as we have here right now. What is our winner? Hopefully we get Chungus in for a little bit for our post-race interview and just see where the mindset is. Well, speaking of...
Oh, you don't want Chungus here.
Hey, GG.
GG!
But yeah, Chungus, you pretty much ran a pretty solid race for the most part, especially in the second race. I know we might as well get it out of the way. What was your mind going through in that Wally 4?
It seems to me that miscounting my item 1 ammo by 2 pips cost me the race.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
It was really unfortunate, but it almost looked like you were able to make that jump. It looked like you were just in enough distance to try to make the jump and make it to that individual platform. Just panic when you saw those. Didn't panic when you didn't see that energy be beneficial to you.
Yep, I whiffed on the timing is all. Like I'm a DOS-based Chungus 3.1, and with too many things going on at once, I can't process all of it. So as soon as we broke from routine, that was it.
Oh no.
But yeah, otherwise, Chungus, as I was telling Casual Tom, y'all two was pretty much even. Starting from Wally 2, y'all were going neck and neck, pretty much just trading leads back and forth until that Wally 4. So, for what it's worth, y'all up to that point, it was very well raced.
I felt pretty good about it. I mean, I had no illusions about how this was going to go, but I do wish I made a better showing in Wily 4. Also, what was Quickman's weakness in the first seed? Shotgun Ice?
I didn't find it. I think I only found like one weakness in the first seed.
Man, he gave me the business so hard I have an NBA now.
Oh yeah, that race 1, Quickman kind of caused a little bit of issues for both of you.
Yeah, he killed me actually in the first seed.
Yeah, he got both of you, but one of you definitely... Oh, that was tough.
Yeah, like I had an E-Tank, and just, you know, I didn't use it, but you know what? I knew that you'd really need those E-Tanks in Burst Chaser. There's going to be a lot of damage boosting. So I was trying to be a little bit conservative, and that's why I was going out of my way to pick up some more later on. I probably used at least most. What, I have like maybe one E-Tank left in like each seed, something like that? Maybe? Like by the end? I don't remember.
Well, before we go about, since Burst Chaser kind of comes and goes, just describe the feeling of Burst Chaser, the feeling of going fast pretty much throughout the entirety of the game, and especially in a randomized format. How does that go through your mind in like choosing stage to go, how to go about every platform and every obstacle that pretty much comes along your path before we decide to come on?
You know, fun fact, I haven't played Burst Chaser in probably years. Probably it's not since last time Creed beat me at Burst Chaser, actually. But, it's just too much fun to resist. But there's just, you forget how much damage you're going to take. That's like number one.
Oh yeah, it's by far my favorite mode. It does change the calculus of like which items I want before I go to which stages, because like Metal Zip I'm not really going to worry about because it doesn't save as much time when you can just run across the conveyor belts.
Alright, with all that said and done, once again, congratulations Casual Tom for moving on to our next set in the brackets. 2% Chungus, you will be sent down to our lower brackets. This is double elimination, so 2% Chungus does have another shot to continue to move on, but will be in elimination scenarios. But we will see our two runners one more time as the tournament continues. So any last parting words and shoutouts before we begin closing out? Chungus and Tom?
Thanks guys for comms, and thanks everyone for watching. And Chungus, thanks so much for agreeing to a race on somewhat short notice. This is like the only time slot I had available this week. But after the weekend, or by the weekend maybe at the earliest, I should free up quite a bit more. So great to get this out of the way now, and I really appreciate you accommodating my tight schedule.
Yeah, thanks everyone for working on the randomizer, for doing comms. Casual Tom, thanks for the races. Thanks for running Burst Chaser with me.
Thank you.
I'll see you in the finals.
Yeah. See you then.
Alright, with that being said and done, we do have a couple of racing announcements. We do have a couple of races that will be coming up within the next few days. Coming up on Friday, August the 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight, we do have Snape and Charlie Boy in another round 1 matchup. And on a few days later, on Sunday, August the 24th at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight, Ari Specie and Kyle 2KX will be racing in that moment. Of course, stay tuned to the Speedgaming family of channels on Twitch for when they are going to be appearing, but we will be having a couple of races shortly, and we do have one more race waiting in the wings that still needs to be done between Swift and Siberian Bull 9 that will come across as it is scheduled. So with that said and done, once again, thanks to Speedgaming for hosting our tournament once again, allowing the Mega Man 2 Randomizer to be showcased on their events once again. Shoutouts to Duckfist, as we always do, for being the originator and creator of the Randomizer at the start. Without him, none of this would exist. The Mega Man 2 Randomizer community as a whole, for all the contributions that has been done to make it as fun as it always has been and continues to will be. For Freako, my co-commentator, always glad to have him on the side desk with me.
Yeah, had my internet actually hold up for a whole race this time. I'm impressed. I figured I'd have to switch over to my phone between one of the games. Who knows? Game 3 would have happened.
GG's to good internet. But with all that said and done, this is your boy LV Creed here. About to sign things off. Once again, continue to watch the Speedgaming family channels, not only for Mega Man 2 randomized action, but the many races that are going to be occurring throughout the years as the channel continues to provide entertainment for all of you. So with that thought in mind, have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever it may be. Take care until the next time.
Have a good night, everybody.
Later, have a good one.
Good night.
Alright, shut it down.